can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey and the ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
Will you shoot them down?
They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
It's SeanDaniel here, and finally Trump spoke on the drones. So much so, he even shared that he's not willing to go to his golf club in New Jersey, because that's where we've seen a lot of the drones be spotted, near another military base that produces munitions for all branches of the U.S. government, all branches of the U.S. military, And it makes sense what he said. And it also makes sense a lot of what Marjorie Taylor Green said earlier this week about it.
Well, number one, I'm going to call it total bullshit that no one knows what these are. And I think it's a slap in the face to the American people to say they don't know what this is. They can track down a guy that just killed a CEO, but they can't identify what nightly drones are and where they're coming from. I think that is absolutely disgusting to lie to the American people like this, and the truth needs to be told about it. Secondly, if they're telling the truth, then this country is in horrible shape. We're all in danger. I mean, seriously, if our great government can't identify what these drones are, they're flying every single night, that people are sitting out there videoing with their cell phones, then no American is safe. And I have no respect if our government cannot say what these are.
So if we don't know who they are, right, so it's got to be somebody else, or they're just not telling us and they know who it is. And some people have said maybe it's, for an adversary. What do you think?
I seriously don't know, but I think they know. I think our Pentagon knows. Our Pentagon should know, right? The Department of Defense absolutely should know. And I'm not privy to that information. I'm not we're not in control yet. But I'll call them a bunch of liars, and I think they're full of shit.
Because they're saying they don't know. So it's like, if you don't know, then...
If they don't know, they need to resign in shame. That's what I think. And we need people in charge that can know what this is. But I don't buy it at all. Yeah.
And this, again, makes sense what she said. If they don't even know what's going on, which is what they say that I'm going to show you in this Pentagon press briefing, that's absurd. They have to know, like Trump said. They probably know what's going on. They just don't want to tell us, which we don't necessarily know why. Let's hear exactly what the Pentagon said.
Sure. So at this time, aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time, we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but, at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Can you rule out that these are American drones or U.S. military drones?
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
So they know that it's not a foreign adversary, apparently, but they say it's also not a military thing. They don't know what it is, and they're the Pentagon. As Trump said, they know what the hell's going on. They just don't want to say. Now we're going to hear from the New Jersey police or sheriff in his findings and in their investigations and their heat maps that they've developed of these drones. different ways they've tried to track these drones and find out what's going on, which again, the federal government could do in an instant if they really wanted to, if they haven't already done it. And yet New Jersey is in the dark on what is going on, even though they're trying to figure out what is going on.
If this was a national security concern and a test, we failed miserably, right? When you have kind of a rogue drone flying over Weapons Station Earl and Picatinny Arsenal and some critical infrastructure and closing down airports, I mean, medevac flights have been canceled because of these sightings of drones and drone activity. The airport in New York closed down for a period of time because of drone activity or reported drone activity. When you have that occur, we have a problem with obviously what's going on. And from a public safety standpoint, it's concerning, right? And it's going to be a challenge in the future. We can't have recreational or commercial drones flying over large crowds and audiences, you know, on our beachfront, like with 70,000 people at a concert. That's not going to do it. So we need to change the laws and again, try to put some of this deconfliction and de-droning capability, or at least drone detection capability, in the state police hands.
So there you have it, Brian. This is the guy who's really at the center of this whole thing, and he's walking the walk. He's asking for change and hopeful that the feds are going to give us some help here in New Jersey to help detect these things.
Rich, you're an amazing investigative reporter. You've been working on this for like a week now. You saw drones for yourself. What's your sense? I mean, when we see these sound bites from the White House and they're saying, look, this is literally nothing. These are people making mistakes in what they're seeing. These are planes and stars, et cetera. Do you think, are they purposely misleading people, or do you think that that is what they actually believe? Do they really not know what's going on? Are we all just crazy?
I think this is a complicated, thank you for saying that, Brian, but I think this is a complicated answer, so I'll take it in parts. I think the government, number one, knows more than they're telling us. And I think that's evidenced by the fact that military bases are saying, we're seeing these things. And then John Kirby, the security advisor, is saying, we're no credible threats, or, you know, that was his initial statement last week. So there's more going on there. They're saying, look, a lot of these are planes. I asked Sean Golden, the sheriff, that, do you think the majority of these calls are planes? And he believes that a healthy majority likely are planes. You know, just in full transparency, Brian, I kicked the tires on my reporting last week. I asked every possible expert. I asked a former CIA person. I asked a CEO of a drone company to look at our footage, and I asked an aviation expert who's got 43 years as a pilot, both military and commercial pilot. What do you see? You know, what are we seeing? This is crazy. And the CEO of the drone company says, I think these are planes in your footage. And to my surprise, the aviation expert, the pilot of 43 years, says, I think I see drones. So it just goes to show you, nobody knows what we're seeing up in these skies. And that's why the lack of information is so key. And if the government knows what's actually happening, if there is some program, they should come out and tell us, so everybody's not looking up at the sky wondering, is this a drone over my house? Because it's freaking people out. Kids are asking all sorts of questions. We don't have answers, and there's really no end in sight with this, Brian.
So even New Jersey does not know what's going on. They're looking for more information from the federal government. And there could be more information given just to put the citizens at peace, which is why New Jersey, again, local in law enforcement, other New Jersey elected officials are pushing so hard for some information, because they care about their residents. They see their residents are concerned. They're not at peace in their own house, around their own neighborhood, their schools, in supposedly a free, secure country. Could at least get some answers with what's going on. Wanted you guys to get an update directly about Trump, what other people have been saying, and what is going on in New Jersey, which apparently Trump is not going to be visiting anytime soon. It's SeanDaniel here. If you guys enjoyed the video, consider subscribing or watching another one right here. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. And I apologize for today's twisty-turny video, but in a different location today, so that's why. See you in the next one.